afternoon, everybody. I'm just having a little giggle to myself here. I've just told John not to swear. He's doing fine though. He went, what, me? Yeah, you know, you get that look, don't you, from them? And they're like, what? I wouldn't do anything like that at all. And I'm sure he wouldn't, because luckily our machine's running really nicely today, and he's not shouted at it once. So there we go. So welcome. Hope everybody's okay. And you know, we're all having a nice relax. The sun is shining, although we don't really see it in here, but that's not to worry. My husband, as you know, his smiling face looking back at me. And yes, I am being sarcastic. Okay, you can see on my desk then. Tile 28. My goodness me, 27th of May. And I've actually got two tiles here today. You see what's going on, a bit of something different. And I did say be prepared. I've got a coloured tile here, and what I've done, I've actually taken a chunk out of it. There we go. Now, if you haven't got one and you're not ready, please don't worry. You can do this on one tile. I just want to show you something that you could do a little bit different, and then maybe later you want to pick up and go and try something as well. So, okay, here I go. I've got my pencil, my tortillon. I've actually got my white pencil, white tortillon today, and I've got my pen. I'm also going to bring in, I don't know if you know, Sakura are doing, or they have done some new colours. So here I've got two new, look, sexy, new colours here. I've got a really nice sort of aubergine and a sort of a lilac, and it goes really nicely with those colours. So I'm going to put that to one side for a minute, and we'll have a look at that later. So here we go. We've all written our name and our date and our tile number. That's good to go. So let's turn it over. First of all, then, now again, as I said, if you haven't got a tile handy, you've not cut it to bits, doesn't matter. What I'm going to do is I'm going to draw around it up this top end, and all you're going to do without this little piece is you're going to draw around it, or you're going to just draw your 4 dots rather, and you're just going to add in a square or a rectangle shape up in this top corner here. There we go. Okay. So there we go, just done that. So if you have a look at it from there we go. So it's almost now that I haven't got that purple tile at all, and I'm just working on this section. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to imagine, or even if you want to put some dots in, I'm going to add another square in there. There's my 4 dots. I'm going to imagine that this one is underneath. There we go, so there's that one. This one. Turn my tile. Oh, hot and sunny again in Chesterfield. That's nice. Oh, and I think my courier's here to collect some parcels. That's good to know. So there we go. So you can see I've got a bit of a border here. I've got one going on here. And I'm going to add a last one. And I'm going to take it just slightly inside here and add a sort of narrower border. There we go. Let's turn that round and into there. Oh, it's all go here today, isn't it? Eh? Couriers, phones, won't matter. Even the helicopter in the distance, it's from the airfield. Go. All right, so just so we recap there, deep breath, a little border, a little square there, another one here, and I've got one going all the way around the house. Oh, Jules, it's overcast, biddle, really hot. Yeah, it's always nicer when the sun's out, isn't it? Okay, I'm going to focus then. I'm going to start with my pen, and I'm going to focus on this section here. I'm not going to worry about this one at all, this one here. What I'm going to do a little bit of a grid. So I'm going to imagine where my sort of centre-ish line is. Let's put a line in. There we go. Okay. Now my dogs are probably barking. Oh, mine always bark. Let's have one there. So look, I'm just splitting this space. And I'm going to do the same here and split this space. Oh, Jules, they're on their way. way, and we are machining the extended delivery stock as well. There we go. On there. Okay. And then whilst I'm at it, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to draw in that original line that I did with pencil. Now I'm sort of happy with where it's going. There we go. And then there we go. Okay. Alright. Oh. See, it's nice. It's mostly warm everywhere. It's just the odd person, I think, has got a bit of an overcast. But, you know, we all get them now and again. Okay. So, looking at my sort of grid here then. Let's go with... And normally, you know, we sort of think, oh, grid, straight lines. No, I'm going to go in and I'm going to put a curve in there. Alright, and I'll just make that larger so you can see what I'm doing. There we go. Okay. So, from there, I'm going to focus on this point here and I'm going to put another curve so it sort of splits that space in two. Oh, June it is. And then let's split that space and that space. Okay? So then I'm going to come to this one. Now there's a bit of a choice here, and this is where it starts to get a little bit clever. You can either put your curve this way, so you then mirror what you've done there, so you sort of get this fan going on here, or you can repeat that pattern and do it exactly the same this way. So, decisions. I think I'm going to, for this one, I'm going to repeat it, so I'm going to put the curve in the same place, then I'm going to split it again, and there. Okay? But again, if you want to sort of mirror that and do a different pattern, yeah, go for it. So this is where it's nice to have a bit of choice, isn't it? And you know that whatever you do, it's going to turn out a little bit different. Unique to you, really. Okay. And I'm going to do the same with that one. So again, yours might look a little bit different now, depending on what pattern you've done. Okay. So I'm going to come back to this top one here, and I'm going to start in this bottom corner now. Well, hi Deborah. And there we go. But it's not quite touching. And then I'm going to put a little bobble on the top. Okay. And then let's do the same again, but I'm going to go a little bit smaller and a little bit smaller. And same this side, a little smaller, smaller. Okay. And my little bobbles are going to reflect that as well. They're getting a little bit smaller as we're going down. Okay. Oh, hello, Kathy. There we go. So same again, look, I've put a little line in. Let's put that bobble there. And then I'm going to split the space, one there, getting smaller, getting smaller. Now, what yours is like, you might have, say, done a slightly different version of this, but we're filling the space in, and they're all going to look different. So it's exciting. Actually, this particular way of doing it is different to the sample that I've produced, so it'll be interesting, I think, to see how it looks compared to that one a little bit later. And then the same again. One there. Oh, bobble one. There you go. It's always about that repetitiveness, isn't it? So I could just put the bobbles on after, but it's nice to do that one. So I'm definitely, there we go. Oh, Jules, you catch up later. It'll still be here. Okay, so I've got this pattern. Alright, so I'm going to turn my tile round. Oh, there we go. And then this time, again, I could repeat this and I could do it here. So I'm getting exactly the same pattern. What I'm going to do it this way. And then split that in half there. So I've got a nice sort of flow there. And then here, so I'm going to imagine, because this end of the square is sort of about here, isn't it? I'm going to imagine that that's where the curve's going to go. Oh, hey Janet. Oh, absolutely fine. I'm so glad that people are enjoying this. You know, you're actually giving it a go. I've been to a lot of shows over the past couple of years, and you show this to people. They go, "Oh, it's amazing," and it's like, yeah, you can do this. It's not tricky once you know how, is it? It's a case of just having that bit of inspiration, a bit of guidance. Hence, yes, Maureen, book 1 of the first 12 tiles is out. It's been out, I don't know, I think about 2 weeks now, maybe not even 2 weeks, but it's out there. And now there's a lot of parcels going out the door with those books in. So yeah, I'm really pleased that you're liking it. I really appreciate all your support. You know, we're a small business, and just to be able to keep it going. You see here, I'm not going to quite see all of it. I might get a little bit in there. There we go. Just sort of like pretend, so maybe a little bit. Just excuse me 1 second. There we go. So, working it from here then. This time, I'm going to do it this way. And then I'm going to take it here. Just give me 1 second. I'm just going to have to go and give the Hermes guy a number. Sorry about that, guys. Our Hermes guy needs to know how many parcels we're sending out, and I've written it down somewhere, you know, as you do. Yeah. And then he says it's there, and can't find it. They're on the way anyway. Some of them are. We'll get the rest out as soon as we can. Panic over. What panic? It's all good. Okay. Yeah. I am. Once I've got these parcels out, I am going to put the book on my own website. I am going to be updating that, because obviously I've got some new bits and pieces there, and we want to put some tangle boards back on, and so many things. New colour tiles. Oh my word, new colour tiles. There we go. So, just repeating this pattern again. I'm not quite going all the way, as you can see. Oh, I think I've done an extra one there, haven't I? So, let's fit that one in. Let's sneak one in there. I'm going to put one there. That's alright. Okay, so there we go with these little bobbles. Okay, let's have a look at where we're at then. Okay, so we've got this nice little sort of thing. Yeah, I've got this little sneaky one here. That's absolutely fine. It'll all go in with everything else a little bit later. Quite like it's almost like it's saying, look at me, I'm growing. I'm not quite tall enough yet, but that's lovely. Oh, bless. All right, so that's this one done. So I'm going to work just round the outside now of this area. You see, I'm saving this one for a little while. Okay, so from here, let's have a look, see. I'm going to add in one little bubble, two little bubbles. So you see I've sort of added that within that size of the grid there. And then let's just go ahead and fill that in. And let's fill that one in. Okay. And then do the same here. Now don't worry about these little bubbles, if they're not quite the same. It doesn't matter, they're all different sizes. So we're all different people, aren't we? So I wouldn't expect one of us to be the same. So we're not not using a stencil or anything like that. It's all hand done. So I wouldn't expect these to be the same either. And same again, like 1 and 2. See, I've left a bit of a gap in between there. And you know, I think with these tiles in particular as well, it doesn't matter, you know, if you've never done one before, it doesn't matter really where you start. See, that's sort of 2 here. Because we explain, or I try and explain everything as I'm going. So you can sort of pick each one and just, I don't know, go through all the odds and then all the evens if you want. Go backwards, start at the beginning, it really doesn't matter. Okay, so there's my book again. I'm going to get 2 in there. And go ahead and fill those in. You see, this one, it's filling this space up quite a bit, isn't it? Yeah, we're getting through this, no trouble today. So that one. And that one. There's the other 2. You see, as well, we're not measuring. It's nice to have a little bit of a guide here. You know, and I know that within there I'm going to put 2 of these bubbles, so it's sort of keeping a bit uniform in that respect. Oh, hey Sam. Oh, I hope everything's okay. I hope it's just a routine and no problems. Unfortunately, it's one of those places you have to go now and again, so I hope it's okay. So let's just turn it all back. Let's have a look at that. Okay, so we've got a sort of L shape, haven't we? It's quite well filled in now. All right, so let's move up. Oh, hi Anne-Marie. Okay, so let's do an aura. Draw around these little bubbles. Now, if yours are a little bit closer together, that's absolutely fine. Got space, you can go from one to the next. Just so happens that I'm just filling in each side as I go. Okay, so all the way down one side. I'm going to turn around. Hi Angela. Okay. All the way down the other. Now Angela, that your parcel's just left the building. Put your tiles in there as well. So. Alright. Let's turn it on. Oh, Anne-Marie, I'm sure yours is going to look fabulous. I just love seeing what people do with them. You know, sometimes I'm looking, oh, I've never even imagined what some of you are doing. It's lovely to see how confident you've been. You know, and from the first tentative steps with that first ever tile, and then suddenly, you know, it's full colour, full page. Before you know it, you know, you're all off and doing your own thing. I'm so proud of you all. You see here, let me just show you this bit. You see, I can't quite get to this line anymore because otherwise I'm going to sort of touch that. So I'm going to leave it there and I'm going to continue around without touching that line, you see? And then some from that edge. And it's just, you know, this one here, look, I can, so I'm going to go down and touch it there. But there, it's a little bit tight again, so I'm going to stop it part way there, look. And then just keep it going, okay? Plug my phone in. Oh, we're going to have, oh, today it's been the Hermes guy, and it's been power. There we go. So, alright. And I'm just going to continue down there. Okay, turn it round. And then around here. Okay, I'm just going to keep it going. From one to the next. And forget to turn your tile. I don't always mention why we turn our tile. It's all about, you know, just keeping it so it's comfortable for you to work on. And there's something quite traditional about turning it as you go. And it's nice to sort of see your work from lots of different angles. If we were to just look at it from this one all the time, you might not see something that you would see if you looked at it that way. And of course it doesn't have to be one way or the other. There's no up or down. It's just lovely to look at either way, isn't it? Okay, so I'm going to come in again. Right, now remember we sort of did this little pattern here. I'm going to do something a bit similar here. Oh, Maureen, do you know what it is though? It's genuine, and I know orders, you know, I've been very, very busy, and you know, thank you for that. But if it wasn't for you, you know, ordering from me, then I wouldn't have anything to be thankful for, because I wouldn't have my little business, and I don't know what I'd do, if I'm honest. I don't know what I'd be doing now. But yeah, I truly am thankful for everyone, whatever, large or small. And I think it's important to just remind people of that. You know, I might be sat there of an evening with a little glass of wine, maybe signing them, and little Benji at my side. But yeah, I do sign everyone. I don't always pack everyone, but this time I do have a friend in giving me a hand. There's been a lot to do. And of course we're socially distancing, and we're keeping that space between us. So yeah, I'm really thankful that she's been able to spend some time here to help out. So okay, all right, so here we go. Oh yeah, sorry I didn't tell everybody about last night. It was was it a bit of a short notice thing? I did know about it, but it was I've been so busy over the last weekend and stuff. I just absolutely totally forgot to mention it. But I did share the video afterwards. It's only 40 minutes, and it's a little bit like our alien landscape. But if you want to have a look at that and give it a try, then by all means have a look a little bit later. It was on the Crafts Show Facebook page. They asked me to do a little video. You know, I thought, oh, you had enough of me. You know, 3 times a week. You wouldn't want another one. Oh, my word. Some of us are hardcore, aren't we, though? Oh, yeah, have a look. Check it out a little bit later. It's, I say it's slightly shorter than these ones. But, it's really pretty. And of course, Julie, we did do zingers. Alright. I'm obviously in the mood for doing little bubbles today, aren't I? Look at that, they're the case. There we go, let's have a look at that then. Alright, hold on. There we go. So far we've got, sort of imagine that this is a square underneath a square. It's just looking quite nice, isn't it? Sort of a pretty design. Alright, so just coming to this outside border here, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to draw in that line. Now if you find that, you know, sometimes it's a bit, oh, can't quite get that line. Oh yeah, and then do a few dots on it. Break it up a little bit. There we go. There we are, see, look, and I've just sort of dots and dashes. What happened? Oh, Margarita. I did a live Facebook page video on the Craft Show Facebook page. But I did share it to mine afterwards, and it was a little tile, and it was about 40 minutes that it asked me to do. So yeah, I'll have a look at it a little bit later. It's just another one that we've done. Okay, I think let's go ahead and join this one in as well, just so we know where we're going now, I think, because we've got that background in. I didn't want to confuse the foreground and the background, so I wanted us to get that grid in first. Okay. And of course, as you know, I'm going to put something over that a little bit later. There we go. So this is where we're at so far. Oh, we're all obsessed. Oh, we all need certifying, don't we? It's very addictive. But you know what? It's amazing to see what you can actually create from it, isn't it? It's just lovely, some of the things. Okay. All right, I'm going to come back to this maybe a little bit later because I want to focus now on this section here. Now, as I said at the very beginning of the video, I've actually got a little coloured tile here. You see, I've cut a piece out of my tile, and then that's what I drew round to create this space. And of course, as you can, it's not a perfect square, so I have written the word top so I know which way around it goes. There you go, so that's going to fit there. Having said that, if you've not got time for all that and you don't want to mess about, you can go straight onto your tile and it'll look just as beautiful. But I'm actually going to use this coloured tile now as though it was that square there. Okay, so I'm going to move that out of the way for a minute and just work on this. So just for a moment I'm going to go back to pencil, and about the thickness of your pencil I'm just going to add in a little bit of a guideline, so it's almost, I'm adding another border in there, another frame. Okay, see, so if I was working on this one, I'd be coming in here and I'd be drawing it there, you see, so I'm doing exactly the same thing. There we go. Yes, Maz, you can. I have got some new colours and they're going to be on my website soon. So this is a lovely purpley colour. Right, okay, so you can see the whole thing there. Backing with pen. Alright. So, oh actually, yeah, I'm going to go back in with pen. I'm just going to mark middle-ish with a dot. Okay, oh no, it's a lovely colour. Okay, are we ready for this? So, let's turn it to one side, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a curve. So I'm going to go sort of, not quite at the end, but in the top end there, and I'm going to put a curve in from there, all the way down to that dot there. And I'm going to turn my tile, and I'm going to do the same again. So, curve, curve, turn, curve. Okay, and turn. And curve. And curve. Okay, so I've got that. Alright. So far so good, we okay with that? So then I'm going to go this time this way, but instead of coming to this end I'm going to use that line. Or am I? No? No, it's me having a moment. There we are. So I'm going to still stay at the top, but I'm putting a curve in there. So it's the same curve all the way around. Hold on, meltdown moments for a moment there. There we go. Okay. So next one. Now I'm going to use this frame. That's it, I was getting ahead of myself. All excited to show you this pattern. So I'm going to create a curve, but this time from the point in the middle there, and I'm going to curve out until I get to that guideline that I drew. Okay. Same here. Alright. Same here. So you see I'm doing a curve the sort of the opposite way that I did, but I'm going just to that line. That's why we drew that border in, it just gives you that point. Okay. All the way around. And then that one there. Alright. Okay. So that's why we drew that border, so we've got that. Everybody okay with that? So I don't want us to rush this bit, I want us to get this right. Okay. So you sort of feel that you want to sort of move and join this together, but we're not going to do that. What we are going to do is we're going to take the long one here, come back on it to join it to this one here. So we're going to do that shape. Whoa. Okay. Let's turn it round. Join that one to that one. Round. That one to that one. Round. That one to that one. Round. That one to that one. Oh, to that one. Oh, girls, you are funny. There you go. So you have to try. To be honest, I don't think I have anything that I hide from John. But, you know, if I need to sort of sweet talk him, it's usually chips and egg. If I cook him chips and egg, he's like, what do you want? Okay. So I'm going to come a little bit larger now so you can sort of see this next bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this point and imagine this curve but the other way, and I'm going to join it to here. Okay? Turn it round. Take this one, join it to here. Join it to here. Turn it round, join that one to here. And around. Join it to here, and around this one to here, around to here. Oh, they should just stop it and start it in places later, and you know, mute me if you need to, and just keep watching. And the pattern is repeated. It just looks a little bit confusing at the minute. There we go. So we've got these sort of overlapping kind of sort of leaves going on there. Okay. It's too over your craft room. No, no. Okay. So here we go. Let's bring it in a little bit. So I'm going to start working on this. Looking at this, I'm going to work on this sort of odd triangular shape here, so I'm going to ignore this petal type thing. And if you remember earlier, we started with a curved line, and then I'm going to add another curved line. But you see I'm going the other way? And then another curved line, and then another curved line. Okay? And then I'm going to go in and I'm going to add a little bit of a curl on the end, and fill in those little gaps. Okay. Oh, Vivian. Yeah, sometimes I know I go a little bit quick. So yeah, just watch it back a little bit later, you'll be fine. So there's that sort of petal shape, and here's this odd triangle. So I'm going to come in and separate this one. And again. And again. And then curls on the edges, and fill in those little bits. Turn my tile, and then from here up here, my craft room. Oh, it's arrived next week. It's like we're all making the most of being in there, and I can't believe he's took over your craft room. As in, Dawn Wheeler would say, that's just rude. Okay, next one. From here then up, so I'm splitting that space as normal, and then one here and one here. If you want to go a little bit finer with this, you can go a bit finer. There we go. Just filling in those little gaps. Same again. Split, split, split. And let's add those little curves on the end. Fill in those little gaps. Turn it around. Oh, hey Simon. How's Darby? There we go. Fill it in. There we go. Oh, Anne-Marie, honestly, once you get your head around it, yeah, it'll be fine. Little bits. Straight up, so I'm repeating that pattern every single time. There we go. Just filling that space. Alright, so let's just move that out a little bit so you can see it, just to give you a minute so we know that we're all at the same place if you're following along. If you're not, it doesn't matter, you catch up a little bit later. There we go. Okay, so just to sort of extend this a little bit, you see we've got these little spaces now. Choose one, doesn't matter which. I'm going to go for this one here, and I'm going to fill it with bubbles. Okay, there we go. And then I'm going to take the next sort of one, and I'm going to go, see I've gone one in, and let's do another. It reminds me a little bit of butterfly wings, you know, with that strong colour on the edge. Oh, it just looks really pretty. But not in a really feminine way. It's just there, isn't it? It's just filling those little gaps. Okay. Yeah. I know. I mean, if this is, you know, if you've lost your way a little bit, then don't worry about it. You can go and play it back a little bit later, and you'll watch and you think, oh yeah, that's what she did. There's no rush. I think you'll want to go back and do this one. Oh, thanks, Jenny. Yeah, it is, Anne-Marie, a bit of windmill-like. But I used to make them in technology. You know, when the year 60s came up for a day of experiencing design technology. Yeah, we made those once. That was rather interesting, with little bits of plastic and, you know, stuff like that. Them were the days. Don't want to go back there. One more time in school. Let's have a look at that then. Alright, okay, so it's quite sweet, isn't it? And of course, we're not going to just leave this plain. And if you think about the pattern coming back here to what we've got this here, let's go ahead and do that. So we've got a long one and two either, or sort of two shorter ones, one either side. And let's put that bobble on. Okay. And then the same with this one here. So long and then two shorters with those little bobbles. Alright. And then long, two shorter. So I mean, if you're working straight on your cream tile, you'll be doing exactly the same thing as me. I've not done anything different. I'm just working on a separate tile because I'm going to put this on the top afterwards. But no difference at all. Just keep it going. So I'm just stuck with the black pen. I mean, I could have gone in with white here and used the white pen. But I'm just staying with the black for now. Okay. So working my way through. Oh, it's looking lovely on this purple, isn't it? It was up for hot pink tiles as well. Yeah, I've got hot pink. Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, it's really pretty, isn't it? I'm going to put that now on top. Let's just have a look at it. So there's the top. I'm just turning it around, look, because I've said top there, so I know where it fits. Let's have a look at that. There we go. So you see how these patterns all feed into each other? So you've got a little bit of sort of coherence going in there. Oh, it's lovely. Love that little purple. Okay. Right, so I'm going to go in now with a regular pencil. Regular pencil. Let's go a little bit larger. And let's go back to this first pattern that we did. So I'm just going to add some pencil here. Here. Yes, I'm going to take that out of the way just for a moment. So just in that sort of point. Now, I might even add a touch there. It's almost like it's sort of falling off the end. Now, if you've changed your pattern a little bit, then, you know, here you can go in and put the shading where you think it's going to be. But so not as a rule really, but generally, you see here where it's quite a lot darker. That's why I've chose to put the shading there. It just accentuates that little bit. Okay, tortillon. Now make sure that you're picking up your tortillon for your pencil, not your white pencil. You can usually tell the difference because hopefully you've written white on it. Yeah, there we go. Just pulling that up a little bit. There we are. Pulling that in. Again, we're just trying to keep that centre bit free of any graphite at all. Just gives it that little bit of a highlight. There we go. Pulling it through. There we go. Okay. So I might even just add a little bit in those corners too. So around there again, where it sort of gathers in that dark little area there. Okay, see, look, there's my little baby one. Quite like that there actually. There we go. There we are. See, now here I've got a little bit. I'm just going to add a touch. I mean, we're going to come and fill that border in a bit anyway. And that one. And then over that one. See, I'm just generally giving it a little bit of depth. This isn't the main part of the tile. This is sort of the background. Yeah. And then let's move out a little bit. Okay. So what I'm going to do now, pencil. You notice I'm not holding my pencil upright. I'm holding my pencil slightly flat. And I'm using the side of it. And I'm going straight over those lovely little black bobbles we did earlier. Turn it as I'm going. Just stop there. A bit there too. Okay. And then here, along here. Yeah, Gillian, June's right. You know, you've just got to keep trying it. You've got to just get into the flow with it and don't expect everything. Just think, I'm just going to try it and I'm just going to give it a go. And whatever comes is what's going to happen. And don't try and think it's got to be perfect. It's got to match in every way. Because it hasn't. It's unique to you. So every little step's going to be too. So back in with that tortillon. And what I'm going to do now is straight up and down. Just pulling out that graphite a little bit. So I'm not trying to spread it too far. Just, oh, there you go, so you can see what I'm doing. I'm just softening that edge and giving it a little bit of a shadow. So I'm going to lose some of that there, that's fine. Straight across there. Across there too. Okay, let's have a look at that then. Alright, so we've got this lovely little pattern here. We've got almost, it looks like 3 tiles, a plain one, a patterned one, and then the one that we're going to work on with our little section there. I say you might have that drawn straight on your tile, that's fine. So I just wanted to give you something a little bit different to sort of see here. So, pencil first. And again, where it's darkest, I'm going to go in and I'm going to add some pencil over the top. Okay. Let's just pull that out with the tortillon a little bit. So I'm dragging it from the centre outwards. Okay. Just generally outwards. One and to the other. Okay. So then you can see here where I've got this, looks like it's going over that one, so it's overlapping. So what I'm going to do is add a touch of pencil, you see there, on the edge of each of those two. I'm not overdoing it here, I'm not putting a massive amount on. I'm just going to move that out of the way for a moment. But enough to sort of give you the feeling that it's definitely there. Okay. Ooh. So back in with that tortillon. You can see where I've put this line. So I'm just going to just gently soften it. So I'm not particularly moving the graphite too far. I'm just going backwards and forwards. See that? Just to soften it up a bit. Okay. Right, my next step is I'm going to travel over to using the white pencil. Now I know that if you're working on that creamy white tile, you can't do this, so you're going to have to sort of continue with the pencil. So do exactly the same as what I'm doing now. You'd use your pencil, whereas I'm just going to go in with the white. Okay. So, oh, spun a little bit there. So on this top section here, I'm going to add a touch of white. Look at that. Again, you'd be doing this with your regular black pencil, exactly the same as if it was on the cream. You can see what I'm doing. Let's go a little bit larger then so you can see again. So I'm adding a highlight there, and again you do this just with pencil if it was on your regular tile, and a little highlight on each of those, and then wherever I can I'll put that little tiny smile onto those. Same again, just a little bit. See, I'm not overdoing it, just touching it once, so it's not like I'm colouring it in. Let's go down a little bit so you can see it again. Turn it round. There. Add those little bits in. And there. Wow, look at that on that, the white, how it hits. Just brings it to life, doesn't it? There we go, into there. Last one. Look at that. I'm not even going to smooth that out in any way, shape or form, because I think it's fine how it is. Let's have a look at that. Okay, let's put that onto my tile here. Just finding the word top again so I know which way I'm putting it on. Alright, look at that. Okay. I am now going to come in with my gel pens. As I said before, I've got two here. I've got an aubergine colour and I've got a light purpley colour. And they are the new Sakura earth tones. They're really pretty. So I'm going to go in and just add this colour over the top of those dots. You might not see much of it there, but put a little bit on and I'll sort of move it about a bit. Now again, you can use a little bit of silver here. Oh look, see as it's not quite dry yet. Oh, they're beautiful. Now you could use a white pen, you could use, you know, any glitters. I just think sometimes it's nice to add a little bit of something in there. And if I can give you something different to try, that's nice. I know we've used coloured pencils before, and yeah, you can go ahead and use those, but wanted to show you how you could do that. Right, I'm going to come in and I'm just going to colour in. There we go. Those just sort of bubbles there. Okay. So let's have a look at how this looks directly. Oh, look at that. Opposite those. Oh, let's go a little bit bigger so you can see that. You see, just adding a little bit of that colour in the edge of those bubbles. Oh. Again, so you can go in and you can do this with pencils if you want to. You can go in and just with your black pen again and just enhance that side a little bit. Okay. Alright, let's have a look at this slightly lighter one. Okay. Let's have a look. Oh, we can see that one. I'm just going to go in, fill in those. Can you see now why I did all these bobs? Yeah, because I wanted to try these pens. Look at those. Alright. Filling in there. Sometimes, you know, it just needs a lift or something, and it's nice to just... there. Right, coming to this on my sort of petal shapes, I'm just going to add touches in. You might not sort of see it directly on camera, but when you put it onto your own, you will see. There we go. Okay. Here we go. So, let's have a look at that. You see, it just adds a little touch, doesn't it? It makes you look a little bit closer. So that's where we're up to now. All right, we've got time for a little bit more. We've got 10 minutes. We can do a little bit more. What I want us to do now, and this might be, it depends on what you want to do. Oh, Jenny. Oh no, do you know? Take it a step at a time. There's absolutely no rush. You can get through all these in your own time. Now, you could go straight onto your journal if you want to do the next section, but being that I've cut a piece of a tile and I've got this section left, I'm going to work on this tile. So I know that you might not have this available at the moment, but you can see there that it's creating quite a nice sort of shape going off here. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to work with this here tile, okay? So let's enlarge this a little bit. Oh, thank you. Do you know, I always try and give you something a little bit different to do. And this one, I think, it's a bit unusual. And I know that we've done a lot of organic type shapes recently. And I wanted to do something that was grid-like, but without making it too sort of just squares, if you know what I mean. You can do these grids, but you can actually make something of them. Okay, so what I've done then, I've just auraed around this shape here, okay? Now imagine sort of the thickness of my pen. So I'm going to do the same again, and I'm going to create that shape. Oh, okay, I'm going to stop there, I'm going to go a little bit further. There we go. Oh, do you know, I'm so pleased you're liking this one, because I do come up with these mad crazy ideas. I do look and think, oh, yeah, I'm sure you can do this one. I've got faith you can do it. Okay, so that's where we are so far. All right, so let's first of all split our space. So I'm going to come straight down here and turn it round, and I'm going to come straight down here. So I've got that square there. Okay, so let's have a look what's left. Now I don't want to worry too much if I don't get a square at the end there. So I'm just going to mark this out. So I've got sort of similar size squares and then straight down. They're not the same, don't matter, but they're similar. Okay, turn it round. Let's do the same again. So looking at the sort of size of that one, we're looking about there. Okay. Right, see that one's a little bit shorter, but you know, I'm going to go off maybe onto my journal so I can continue that a little bit later on there if I want to. Alright, so let's start here with this one. And again, I'm going to sort of keep in with the sort of same shape and same patterns we've used so far. So let's put a line through the middle here and put a bobble on the end. Okay. So then another one, another one, another one, another one. Okay. Right. And then of course, there's nothing stopping us coming in and, oh look, adding in colour there. Okay, just thought I'd go try that. It's lovely, look at that. These colours are just divine. Okay. So, again, thinking about those patterns, and let's go here this time. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create, oh, see, I'm filling my curve this way, and then this way, see, and then this way, and then I'm going to get part of one here because it's not quite on the end. So let's have a look at that. There we go. So I'm going to do the same here, this way, this way, this way, and this way. Alright, so there's my sort of starting point. Okay, so looking at this shape then, let's repeat that curve. There. Oh Margarita, you missed loads. Loads. No, don't worry, you catch up. You can go back and look later. I'm going to add a little one in there. See? So then if I go into the middle, and then this one. So see, exactly the same pattern we did earlier. We've been doing it all along. Yeah, we look back at this one, you see here, this one. Oh, Tina, yeah. Do you know you're going to have a look at the new earth tone colours as well. They're really nice. I do have a few that I'm going to put on my website. Did I say that quietly? Yeah. And I've got some chameleon fine liners as well. They're really, really nice to use because they change colour when you sort of least expect them, so you don't have to worry or anything. Oh, so it's your own fault then. Look, if you went to fetch ice cream and you didn't get us one. Yes. Okay, so you can see where we're at so far with this pattern. Now we've got these sort of little gaps here, and yeah, we could go in and we could put this pattern again, but let's make it a little bit different. Yeah, of course you've got this. So I'm going to sort of put a center point in there. Okay, let's go a bit larger so you can see what I'm doing here. And then I'm going to work on this side, and I'm going to create that curve in the middle there. And I might even get two in there, look. See? And then here. Now I know that this one's a little bit more in depth, perhaps, than what we've been doing, because I've picked up the pace a little bit, haven't I? But you've got this, you can do it. Just take your time with it, follow it back, stop and start it. Keep the shapes the same, keep your curves going. And before you know it, you'll be doing it. I say you can change these curves lines up a little bit, and you just look at the difference how this is sort of starting to work now. Okay, so this one. So again, I'm going to sort of put my line up here and then create that curve again. You see each time, see I'm going to get two in there. Try and break your space up rather than worrying about whether it's in the middle or not. It really doesn't matter. Okay, and then around, and then up here, curved. Alright, and then this way. Now on this one I'm only going to get sort of part of it, so let's put my finger where it's sort of going to be, so from there, and I'm going to take each one almost to the point where my finger's indicating it's going to be, and that way. Look! Alright, turning it round then, so I've got this one here, same again, look, turn it on its side, go up there, curve. And then I'm going to curve that way. Let's get another one in there. And this way. There. Curve. Each one. And do you feel that you have progressed, that you've got better with this, or your confidence has improved? You're willing to try things a little bit more now, or maybe just do you feel that you're focusing a bit more and you can relax a lot quicker now you've been doing it for a little while? There we go. Let's have a look at that. Okay, so if we look at that in conjunction with that one, oh, there we go. Let's have a look. You see where it's starting to sort of come together now. So, just I'm going to finish off both sides with those wonderfully famous little oars. Well, that's good that you've started your storage. That does show that you've got a bit more confidence. And I think now you've got a lot of patterns and a lot of ideas that, as I said before, you don't have to use them just on your tiles. Use them in your card making or your scrapbooks and your wooden projects. It's amazing, how it starts to build. So this is a good one. I did a little video on starting your tangle board at the weekend. I know some of you have got slightly straighter grained sort of patterns. Something like this would look great in those straight lines, wouldn't it? And it just builds. So it's nice to sort of see where it's going. And I hope you're okay. I know we've slightly gone over the hour, but I'd really love to just show you where this is going. I don't think I'll get to fully shade it, but there's just one more little tangle I want to add on to it. Oh, that's nice to know, Pat. It certainly helps, I think, and it's nice to know. Well, it helped me, so it's nice to know that it helps other people too. So, okay, so I've just worked down both sides with bubbles. There we go. Alright, so have a quick look at that. Okay. So then I'm going to turn it around because it depends on how you feel comfortable wise. That's why we turn our tile, remember. So let's start in this sort of corner point. Okay, so I'm going to go, ooh, remember these? Now, I could see some of you now recoil in horror, thinking, no, don't make us do them. You know what, the more you practice them, honestly, and you don't have to do these, it's just something nice to sort of fill it in with, and it just gives it a little bit of takes away all the structure, and it just helps with a bit of shape there. Oh, wandering off, you see, look, you see, I'm just filling it through. Another one there, look. Around here, gonna get a little one in there, and I'm gonna go that way. Oh, Jenny, no, just go for it. The dream catcher is a really lovely one to do, and even if you're not sure with the whole thing, just do it in little bits. Just do the main top section, as a practice, and then have a go at doing the feathers. I mean, even if you don't do the whole shape of the feathers, you just draw around it. That's absolutely fine. Just, the scariest thing is starting. Oh, Francis. Yeah, keep trying. I mean, you can try something different. You can do a different pattern, but just keep at it. Keep at it. We'll get you there. See how it's broken up that border pattern there. And it's not looking so square anymore. Yeah, you're right, Carol. A little bit at a time. You know, and certainly on the wood, or do it in pencil if you really need to. Just to sort of, you know, help give you your confidence. So before you know it, you'll be thinking, why did I worry? So let's go in and add in some of those bubbles. Now you see they're quite close together to start with, and then they get a little bit rebellious, a little bit more confidence, Luke, and off they go into their own little world. There we go. Oh, the rose. Oh, you mean the rose on the dream catcher? Again, it's just, you know, go around your stencil, use a bit of scrap paper, and then go on in and join the lines, you know, with even if it's a biro or a bit, you know, just to sort of see where it goes. Follow the curves and one will go into the other. There we go. It'll come. Sometimes, you know, you sort of think, don't try and push it. If you're not quite getting the hang of it, then go back and do something else. Come back to it in a little while. And try it again. I mean, the Dreamcatcher, the main shape, is in the volume 2 book, so it might be that you want to go and use that first and try that out first. There we go. So you can sort of see where that's heading. It's giving you a really good starting point. So once you start to add your shades, so your shade's going to be in these darker areas, maybe a bit of a highlight out here and some extra bubbles and colour. I will actually finish this off and repost a little bit later so you can see it in its full view. But let's have a look at it so far. Just going to see if I can find a blank page in my journal. I think I'm on the back page. And I'll put this on just so you can see where it's going without the back piece underneath it. Here we go, so there's that section. I mean, actually trying to cover 2 tiles, which is what we've done really in the time we normally allow ourselves to do one. Okay, you see where that's going. So it's just that this needs a little bit more work. But in terms of how it should look when it's done, I've got a black and white version there. Okay, so you can see that we've done the same thing now here where I did this pattern here. You see where I've gone here? Then here, this time, I've actually done it as a mirrored image. There we go. So you can see you've got the same pattern. I actually did it look that way, and then I did it this way. So it's amazing when you look at it and think, oh, you can see, look there as well. I've got the gel pen in, and I've been adding gel pen to that. So we're almost there. We've got quite a lot done. There we go. So that's our tile 28, or it's tiles 28. So have a go at this one. If you're not sure of something, give it a go. Sit back and rewind me, mute me if you must, and watch the lines and the strokes. Take a deep breath, and honestly, you'll be amazed at the results. It's just so pretty, that one. It's lovely in the monochrome, but it's lovely with the colour as well. I mean, I know it's not going to quite look the same there, but you can see, look, adding something, a bit of a contrast colour in. Oh, look at that. Just really brings it to the forefront, doesn't it? So have fun with it, give it a go, try it, practice it, do a few different versions of it, and let's see what you come up with. I'm excited to see that. Have a play and just have fun with it. That's the most important thing. Have fun with it. So I hope you've enjoyed it, and have a good time with that one. Don't get too much sun, and I will see you all, being well, back here again on Friday at 2 o'clock. All right, thank you ever so much for watching yet again. So this is now 28 hours of Sanntangle. So yeah, we're doing great. We're keeping it up. All right. Look forward to seeing you soon then. Bye.